Britt Allcroft's tribute. It was January 2025, but Sodor wasn't enjoying the new year. News about Britt Allcroft's passing had spread across the island, and all the engines were upset. But they were all pleased when they heard about how many tributes were made by fans and people across the island. In the last week of January, Percy returned from the works. He found Thomas and the new engine in the branch line yard. "Hello, Percy," greeted Thomas. "How are you?" "Good as new," replied Percy. "I feel like I could pull 20 trucks. By the way, I heard that what happened to Britt. I'm sorry." "It's alright, Percy. She'll be dearly missed." "I know," said Percy. "Workman at the works showed me some of the tributes made by fans on his laptop. We're not the only ones that is going to miss her." Just then, Miss Emily Hatt walked up. "New engine, I need you to return to the works, please. The naming ceremony is in February, and we need to check you over." "Yes, miss," and she puffed away. "I hope she'll come back soon," said Thomas. "She's very friendly." Just before anybody could say more, Lady puffed by with her coaches. She looked very sad and didn't say a word as she passed. She didn't even blow a whistle. "What's wrong with her?" asked Percy. "She's been like that ever since she's heard about Britt Allcroft," said Thomas. "Miss Hatt, I know Lady is doing a quarry train later. May I help her? I'm sure she'll talk to me." Miss Hatt agreed and made the arrangements. Later, Thomas and Lady arrived at the quarry. They coupled up to the front of a long line of trucks and chuffed away to the harbour. On the way, Thomas spoke to Lady. "So, Lady, I'm all ears. What's the matter?" "Oh, Thomas," wept Lady. "I'm just feeling guilty." Lady told him all about her feeling mad about her depiction in the movie and how she secretly hated Britt Allcroft. "I wanted to apologise to her, but now it's too late." "I see," said Thomas. "I don't think she meant to upset you. I heard that she may have been forced to change her script. Maybe she wanted to tell your story, but the movie company interfered. But I don't know why she wouldn't come and explain it to you. That's what I feel bad about the most. I'll never get the chance to hear her side now, and I'll never get the chance to apologise to her myself too." "Don't worry," comforted Thomas. "I'm sure she knows, and I'm sure you'll find a way to make it up to her." Lady thought about it the whole way to the harbour. She knew Thomas was right and wanted to do something. Soon they arrived at the old harbour. Thomas shunted the trucks to the pier while Lady went to the water tower at the harbour station. While she was filling up, she spoke to her driver. "What am I going to do?" "We'll think of something," said her driver. "Many people have made tributes to her. Maybe you can too. When my grandmother passed on, my family had her name placed on a bench and placed it in her favourite park." "Her name," thought Lady. Then she had an idea. Later she found Miss Emily Hatt at Tidmouth Station. "Miss Hatt, can I have a word?" "Of course, Lady. What's the matter?" Lady told Emily Hatt her idea. "What a good idea," said Miss Hatt. "I'll talk to me father at once." "Thank you," said Lady. "Plus, there is one more thing I was thinking about." And she whispered it to the controller. "I think that's a good thing to do. I'll speak to the works at once." The next day, Lady was told to go to the works. Thomas and the others was wondering why, but Lady kept the secret to herself. In February, the day of the naming ceremony came. Press and reporters came to Tidmouth Sheds to see the new engine. She was on the turntable with a pair of curtains covering her side tank, and the new nameplates. Thomas and a few of his friends were there too. "I wonder what her new name's going to be," whispered Mavis to Thomas. "We'll find out soon. What I want to know is, where's Lady? I thought she was coming too." "I hear she's got the job of bringing the Hatt family here," added Toby. Just then, a signal dropped and they heard a familiar whistle. "Here she is," called out Edward. But everyone was in for a surprise. Around the corner came Lady, but her red paint had been replaced with a violet paintwork with gold lining and her name written in gold too. The engines were amazed. She stopped by the sheds and the Hat family climbed out of her coaches. Sir Topham Hatt III stepped forward and addressed the crowd. "Ladies, gentlemen and engines, we're gathered here today to welcome the newest engine to the railway and celebrate the completion of the newest steam engine in the world. This I-3 was made from old plans brought to the island by my grandfather and have been made to help keep a piece of history alive today. But today we also remember an old friend who's no longer with us. Britt Allcroft was a friend not just to my family but to everyone on our railway. So there is only one way we could pay tribute to her. Emily, do the honours." Emily Hatt walked over to the engine and held a rope connected to the curtains on the engine. "I name this engine Britt Allcroft." She then pulled the rope and the curtains fell, revealing the new nameplate saying Britt Allcroft. Everyone cheered and the engines blew their whistles. The reporters loved it and took many photos of the new engine. The name ceremony was a success. That night, Thomas spoke to Lady. "Do you like my new paintwork?" she asked. "I chose this look to honour Britt. Do you think she would have liked it?" "Of course," said Thomas, "and I'm sure she's looking down now, very pleased with you." "Thank you," said Lady. From that day on, Lady wore her new paintwork as her tribute, and she grew to love it too. As for the new engine, she deemed it a great honour to wear her name and did everything she could to make her proud. From that day on, everyone called her Britt and became great friends with her. Britt loves being on the island of Sodor, but more importantly, she loves her new name, Britt Allcroft, the big blue tank engine.